Here's the Ryan Pulock penalty on Drury that was called a major and then reduced to a minor, just like every other major this playoff so far, it seems. And yeah, Pulock does have him lined up for a shoulder-to-shoulder hit, and Drury does turn. There's no doubt about it. But if you watch this in fast motion, look how much force is behind that check. Well, you're going to tell me, of course there is. It's because he was committed to a shoulder-to-shoulder check and he wants to drive into it. Well, that's too bad. You're overcommitted then. You can look at this and say, well, if Drury hadn't turned, it would have been a clean check and nobody would be talking about it. It wouldn't be a penalty. And that's probably true. But you could also look at it like, if Drury turned his back and Pulock wasn't there and he skated up the ice, he wouldn't get driven into the boards also. The one thing he really does wrong here is he has a stick off the ice in two hands. And he's just going committed full to contact. And even if he had a hit from the side there, that would have driven Drury into the boards pretty dangerously and pretty hard. It probably wouldn't have been called, but it still would have been a violent check into the boards. If he had stayed in this position, kept his stick on the ice, and made a swat for that puck before contact, it would not have been nearly as hard. He lifted his stick up and pulled his shoulder back and cocked back and then drove forward. And look how far he's leaned into that contact. If he kept his stick on the ice and just did a normal body check, the contact wouldn't have been nearly as violent. And even though Drury turns, it probably wouldn't have even been a penalty because it wouldn't have been forceful enough. The force comes from the decision to commit to the hit. That's on Pulock. The avoidability of the violence of this impact is what raises it to the level of supplemental discipline, in my opinion. I'd classify this as a non-hockey play that isn't malicious, putting it in my 3 to 5 game suspension category. Tough Call would suspend Ryan Pulock of the New York Islanders 3 games for boarding.